Sarah Johnson has been with the Audubon Covenant Church for 11 years.
Do you want me to bring these donations in?
Her church is one of several organizations in Florida that support the state applying for the summer EBT program known as Sunbucks for 2025.
The demand is so much higher than it has been for food banks and for families who just need to make ends meet, and that paycheck doesn't go far enough.
The Sunbucks program provides eligible families with children $120 per child during summer break. In 2024, Florida was one of 14 states that did not participate. We asked why the state did not apply for the 2024 benefits. The Florida Department of Children and Families sent us a statement which says in part, "We anticipate that our state's full approach to serving children will continue to be successful this year without any additional federal programs that inherently always come with some federal strings attached." No Kid Hungry Florida is another group that supports the state applying for this program. We spoke to Sky Beard on Zoom from her office in Melbourne.
We have had at No Kid Hungry, as well as other partners, a number of conversations with the folks in the governor's office, with House and Senate staff, and I have to say all of those conversations have been very promising.
According to No Kid Hungry Florida, if the state participates in the program, they estimate the program would impact nearly 2.2 million eligible kids. While the benefits are federally funded, Florida would need to split administrative costs 50-50 with the USDA, which No Kid Hungry estimates could cost the state $12.5 million. We spoke to Deputy Undersecretary for the United States Department of Agriculture, Cindy Long, who was based in Washington, D.C. over Zoom about the program and what the state needs to do in order to participate.
There is a timeline of August 15th for submitting what we're calling a preliminary plan of operation. That initial plan does not have to be perfect. It really serves as much as an indication of intent to operate the program and kicks off that process.
In Orlando, Emily McLeod, Getting Results, News 6.
All right, so even with this opportunity possibly on the table for next summer, there's still talk of food insecurity for families during the school year.
Yeah, which is why some schools in Central Florida say they will continue to offer free meals for every student on campus. Now, these meals are paid with funding from the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Community Eligibility Provision Program. All Central Florida school districts are providing these services except for Seminole County. Leaders say the district does not qualify under the program's formula. So this means the number of Seminole County schools compared to the percent of students who would need these meals does not correlate district-wide. During yesterday's State of Our Schools address, Seminole County School Superintendent Sarita Beeman says more than 50% of students do qualify for the free and reduced lunch program, but qualified families must apply for those benefits. So to find out if you qualify, News 6's Catherine Silver wrote everything you need to know, including a link to where families can apply for the upcoming school year. Just look under the story on clickorlando.com.
All right, got some storms still rocking out there, getting closer to the metro. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegg is pinpointing a lot of lightning.
Yeah, these are highly electrified tonight. Kind of this cluster now is congealed from about Apopka, where it is raining much later. All the lightning associated areas just to the south and west of Orlando. So we're going to be watching that for you over the next couple of hours as this slowly works its way back down into parts of Lake County, certainly southwest Orange County, closer to Winter Garden, closer to Wacowie into Windermere, getting into Polk County as well, Lakeland from Davenport into Winter Havens. If you're taking a trip down I-4, maybe to Tampa tonight, just keep that in mind going forward, as there's some pretty heavy rain down there for us in Apopka. It's certainly much lighter. That light rain extends back into Deltona. We also have one lone cell just north of Denellen. This is meandering and just fizzling out. Still some lightning with it, though, so do be careful in Denellen as this is just coming into your area. We'll be watching that before, but that was the one that had a severe thunderstorm warning with it. It has since piped down a lot. Just some light showers around just south of Daytona Beach, closer to Port Orange, and then also for us closer to Heathrow into Lake Mary. Just some very light rain, but the heaviest stuff, no doubt, to the southwest of downtown Orlando. We're going to be talking much more about this, and of course, an update on the tropics coming up in about 15 minutes, guys.
Jonathan, thank you. There's a new way to save on tolls when you, your family, or friends rent a car at the Orlando International Airport. We know millions of people do every year, as Orlando is the #1 car rental destination in the country.
And now, instead of paying all of those additional fees to your car rental company, you can pay the lowest rate without any fees. News 6 anchor Eric Von Aken has the pro tip.
When you rent a car to pay the tolls, your options are limited. Most toll booths here in Central Florida don't take cash anymore. So you could bring your own transponder. You could rent the transponder from your rental car company and pay the additional fee. Or now, from the Central Florida Expressway Authority, you could use this and pay only the price of the toll, no additional fees. Here's how it works. So step one is download the app. Make sure, of course, to connect your credit card information, and then it gives you a QR code. Take the QR code to one of these machines. This is step two. The Expressway Authority tells me that Visitor Toll Pass has been so successful since it first started in 2022 that they put these vending machines now in all terminals here at the Orlando International Airport. So that's A, B, and C. When you find them here in the rental car area, bring your QR code that you got on the app and scan it right here, and then it'll print out a tag for you. This is what that looks like.
Confirming your reservation. Please retrieve your transponder.
Step three is then to take the hang tag and hang it right here on your rear view mirror. Also, type in your license plate for your rental car so it links your car with your tag. And make sure to decline the rental car company's transponder so you don't pay twice. Brian Hutchings, you are the spokesperson of the Expressway Authority. We have done so many stories with you on your wrong-way detection system that stops drivers from entering Expressway Authority roads the wrong way. And that came about because about 10 years ago, the community went to you and said, look, do something. This came about the same way.
Very similar way. The mayors contacted us. They kept getting complaints from visitors in Orlando. Had a great time visiting the attractions and the beaches and stuff. And then when they got home, they got hit up with these tremendous rental car toll bills.
Just a trip to Disney taking the toll roads from the airport will cost you more than $6 in tolls, and that's not including the fee that a rental car company might charge, upwards of $5, even $10 a day just for the use of their transponder. And this actually happened as Brian was explaining us how this system works. That gentleman on the right, Jerry King, tells me he just flew in from Texas, and he's looking into it now.
Yeah, I live, and you pay the local amount. You pay the electronic rate, which is the cheapest toll rate you can pay.
Please retrieve your transponder.
And just push it. Yep, and off it comes. As easy as that.
Step four, and this is the last step, is when you're done with your rental, make sure you return the pass. Otherwise, they'll charge you $10. You can do that at any of the drop boxes around the airport or in one of the vending machines. Just slide it in. It's really that simple. We're getting results at the airport. Eric Von Aken getting results, News 6.
Well, hopefully that'll also prevent a lot of confusion on the roads. You know, sometimes you see people approaching those toll booths and then putting the car in reverse because they realize that they don't have the transponder or the change. So
that's so true. And let's be honest, renting a car is also just ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
And so added tolls on top of the fees, on top of that, it's just, you don't, that's a great way to save some money. So thank you, Eric, for that.
That's right. All right, we do want to take a look at what's trending right now on Central Florida's #1 news website, clickorlando.com. The top story you're looking at tonight, what the most powerful hurricane to ever hit Florida was, and what it would take for a storm like that to hit us again. Spoiler alert, the top hurricane happened nearly 100 years ago.
Yeah, looking at Category 5 storms, Hurricane Matthew comes to mind most recently, which I'll tell you, we were, I think, about 15 to 20 miles away off the coast
Could have
from
been
really being
awful.
really bad. Yeah. And here are some other of the top trending stories tonight. So Florida has plenty of fossils, but no dinosaurs. Our article breaks down the reason why. Pretty fascinating. And finally, we have tracked down the first Red Lobster location, find out where it is and what it looks like now. So for an inside look on this, we turn to clickorlando.com and News 6 digital producer Anthony Talcott. So Tony, break it down for us. Where was this first one located?
Well, to start things off, this was the first Red Lobster ever, and it opened in Lakeland way back in 1968, well over 50 years ago. But it's not a Red Lobster anymore. Now, after the seafood chain was acquired by General Mills, the building actually changed hands a few times. It first off became a nightclub called Alligator Alley, pretty fitting. And from there, it eventually became a small restaurant again. But it was bought by Lakeland Fishing Outfitters around the time that the COVID-19 pandemic hit. And they're the guys who are using it today. Now, I went out there this weekend to see what's what, and the folks at the fishing shop were more than happy to show me around. Now, if you look over here, well, it's been over 50 years since it first opened. There's still a few relics from during its Red Lobster days. Now you can see that there was a bar top in the back. It was used by the old restaurant, as well as an old storage room and a cooler that are still in use today. And the signature lighthouse up top is a pretty good reminder of what it used to be. But the modern store has provided plenty of updates of their own. Right off the bat, you can see the art murals all around the building, which the shop contracted local artist Bob Gregory to paint. And of course, they still get some old-timers every once in a while asking for a menu, since they were there way back when the place was still a Red Lobster. And considering how it looks from the outside, I can definitely understand the confusion.
I'm surprised they asked for a menu, though, instead of like a cheddar biscuit. That's what I'd be asking for, right?
Yeah, well, the manager there actually told me that they ask for that a lot. So guess it happens more often than you'd like to think. Now, of course, if you want to check it out for yourself, the store's open daily, about 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. every single day, 1330 Memorial Boulevard, right along the edge of Lake Parker. And as always, you can find all of our top stories on the homepage of clickorlando.com. Lisa, Justin?
All right, a little bit of history
Like
there.
the little history. I was a little curious to see if they maybe kept that lobster tank that's so,
right?
Not that I saw. I was looking around for it.
Yeah, you feel like that would fit in with what they're doing now.
You can keep that.
No, I say bring it back.
Definitely.
Right?
Thanks,
All right,
Tony.
thank you. Well, earn while you learn.
A local hospital has a program that's helping prepare our future medical professionals with hands-on training. We're going to show you how it's getting results in our schools next.
And your kids probably don't want to hear this, but it is time for those back-to-school vaccines. We're hearing from a doctor about how to get them through their fears. That's coming up.
And when you're a homeowner, there's always something to fix, right? You may have had this problem with your screen door too. We can show you how to keep it from slamming and fix it yourself. That's coming up. You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Winter Park, Celebration, and all of Central Florida. Stay with us.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, we do want to take a live look over Camping World Stadium from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera, and it's looking a little nasty out there right now. Of course, thousands of people are there waiting for a big soccer match tonight.
Man City versus Real Madrid or Barcelona. Excuse me. Barcelona,
Another
the other
powerhouse
Spanish
from Spain.
team. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I know that people started getting there like 5 o'clock is when the doors opened. So they've been there, and now I would imagine with how close that lightning is, they probably had to move them out of there.
That's the thing, the lightning
tough.
is super close. It's not just about the heavy rain, which makes things a little uncomfortable out there for everybody involved. It's the lightning, though. That's the thing that we are concerned with at the moment. And you see, we have plenty of it. The good news is it is moving away from the stadium. I'll get out of your way there, and you see we do have lightning strikes, especially in the west side of town, close to Camping World right now. The bulk bulk of the lightning has kind of shifted anyway down towards southern Lake County into southwest Orange County, closer to Disney World and the attractions tonight. So we're watching that as well. So putting a damper on your plans this evening, drifting closer to us towards Celebration, Kissimmee, especially on the west. I think St. Cloud, we're going to be missing out on the rain and thunderstorms tonight, but we have this likely pushing toward Poinciana as well in about an hour. The skies are certainly on the darker side. Some lighter rain for us in Daytona Beach into Deltona. Apopka, it's more on the moderate side of things, but the lightning is now pushing back out away. Here is 7, 8 o'clock. Again, future radar now pushing most of this again out to the south and west. There you go at 8 o'clock, still hanging around with a few of those thunderstorms. Again, I think future radar is about an hour off on the timeline, so it's about right where it is right now, and then flaring up and pushing to the west as we move towards 8 o'clock tonight. Once we get into tomorrow morning, everybody on the drier side, there's 2 to 3 o'clock in your afternoon, still pretty dry. East Coast sea breeze lights back up again, pushes inland towards I-4. That is 7 to 8 o'clock. The darker purples and reds indicate that super heavy rain like what we are seeing out there tonight. There's 9 to 10 o'clock. Still some storms favoring the I-75 corridor. Again, for us along the East Coast, the Atlantic coast, we are going to be mainly out of luck when it comes to the rain chances again tomorrow, unfortunately. I know we need to drink bad. There's 11 o'clock for you on your Thursday. We're looking pretty dry, at least to start. There's a live look in Daytona Beach with our Daytona Toyota Deland Kia Skycam. Temperatures back to the lower 80s. All of that rain, at least the heavy stuff, has pushed back to the south. Now here's a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
90 for us at the Cape tomorrow, hanging around 90 in Mico into Rockledge, 94 in Kissimmee into Poinciana Celebration. We're back to the mid-90s as well, with those storm chances coming back at us later on into the afternoon. Not much to write home about with this disturbance yet. This is to be expected. It's not going to look impressive over the next couple of days, so just want you to know that. It's once it gets towards the Turks and Caicos and then to the Bahamas where the environment becomes conducive for this thing to start to materialize. Maybe our next depression or tropical storm by the time it gets to the Bahamas and then gets close to the Florida coast. I want to show you the model here. This is going to be the European model for those keeping tabs at home. And still, by the time we get into Saturday, it's highlighted here in the red box. We still just have an open tropical wave, maybe a depression at max. And then it starts to get a little interesting. It starts to get a little center right there. Again, hopefully staying off the coast of Florida there with all the weather being on the east side. And then it really starts to get its act together off the Carolina coast. And then as it moves up into the North Atlantic. So something to keep an eye on for sure. But again, right now, nothing to write home about at this point, just keeping a close eye on it. 40% shot for storms tomorrow, 60% chance Thursday into Friday, 50% shot for storms over the weekend. And the timeline on that thing is it could be close to our coast, would be Sunday into Monday, guys.
Thank you, Jonathan. Halifax Health is using registered apprenticeship programs to recruit, train, and retain employees.
And thanks to a $50,000 Pathways to Career Opportunities grant from the Florida Department of Education, the healthcare system is able to expand those programs. So News 6 anchor Julie Broughton shows us how these apprenticeships are changing lives and getting results in our schools.
I think my favorite way of describing it is an earn while you learn model.
Halifax Health offers registered apprenticeships in nursing, medical coding, tech support, and radiology and imaging.
An apprenticeship allows you to hire somebody based on what you decide their success factors are, and then help them get their classroom education while you're also doing on-the-job training.
Part of that on-the-job training is in the Skills Lab. Registered nurse apprentices use high-tech simulators. Think of it kind of like the game of Operation you may have played as a kid.
So if I do something wrong, it gives you some sort of like haptic feedback, and you can say, oh, that kind of hurt.
Oh, wow.
And so I know, ooh, all right, let me try that differently.
Away from the bustle of the nurses' station and patient care areas,
it's different. It's different.
You'll find the medical coding department.
So we have a list, and we go through the list. It's letters and numbers that pertain to a procedure.
That's where we met Cynthia Yashish.
So tell us what you did before this.
I was a bartender for 31 years.
Yasha says after the bar where she was working closed, she came to work at Halifax Health scanning medical records. That's when a supervisor approached her about going to school and becoming a medical coding apprentice.
Halifax Health gave me a job, but the coding and the medical billing and apprenticeship program gave me a career. I mean, I have a career now. I have life insurance, health insurance, things I've never had before, plus education on something completely different.
Yasha said it took about a year to complete the schooling and on-the-job training, and all the hard work was worth it.
I'm proud of myself. My parents are proud of me, my children. So it feels really good to say when somebody says to you, where do you work and what do you do? And I say, I work at Halifax Health and I do billing and coding. And they're like, wow. So it makes you feel good.
Julie Broughton, Getting Results, News 6.
That is fantastic.
It is, and it's a great reminder that it's just because maybe you're later in your life or career, it's never too late to switch and make a change. And that's a great example of that.
And we certainly need more healthcare workers. So requirements vary depending on which program you are interested in. To be an RN apprentice, you need to already be enrolled in an accredited nursing program. And we put more information for you at clickorlando.com.
Well, no need to remind you. You know this. School starts less than 2 weeks now.
That's right.
Part of getting ready, though, for school includes vaccinations for your kids.
So during Breakfast with Bridget this morning, anchor Bridget Ellison spoke with a pediatrician about how to get your kids past their fears of shots. It's all about creative distractions.
There's certain techniques that work when the moment it's about to happen, the vaccine's coming, or a blood draw also, which happens in your yearly physicals. You can use music, right? We know we can pull out the iPhone and show them a video. Baby Shark works wonders. But we've taken that to a new level, a more sophisticated form, and it's using virtual reality.
Virtual reality?
Yeah.
A little different than giving you a lollipop.
Talk about a distraction. You can catch Breakfast with Bridget live weekday mornings at 7:30 on the News 6 streaming app for your smart TV and clickorlando.com. Well, stopping your screen door from slamming shut.
The easy DIY fix that only takes 3 easy steps. That's coming up when News 6 at 6:30 continues. We're back in 2 minutes.
Coming up in the morning, making sure students are ready for the first day of school. The local groups teaming up to get results and give out free supplies, and what you need to know if you want to take part.
And your pinpoint weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you for News 6 mornings 5 to 7 a.m.
Hi.
Barbara!
Hi.
So nice to meet you. I'm Eric Von Anken, the handy newsman. I brought with me, as always, the crafty cameraman, Jeff, over there.
Yes, right. Yes.
You got a screen door problem.
Yes, I do. And it slammed shut, and I caught my foot in the door once, and it doesn't stop with the slider thing here. It slams shut.
Yeah, I could see. That might hurt, Barbara.
Yes, it does.
We don't want that to happen again.
Right.
First, we're going to try and adjust it. If we can't adjust it, we're going to replace it.
Okay.
Step one is to figure out if your door closer can even be adjusted. Just about all door closers have an adjustment screw at the end. Turning the screw makes the door close either faster or slower. Yeah, no change. Yeah, this one's just worn out. Kind of like Jeff and I after some of these projects. So we got two different kinds at Ace. Both are fairly similar, about 15 bucks each. But we did this for one simple reason, to make this simple for you. We want to match the new one up with the old one as much as possible so you don't end up doing a lot of extra work. We're going to try this one because the brackets and the length of the closer seem to match up. Most of the time, the brackets are in good shape. These are. So we're going to leave them in place, just pull the pins out and swap out only the closer. So much better. Barbara.
Very good.
Better,
Tremendous
Barbara?
job. Tremendous job. Okay.
So
good.
now it's going to give you enough
space to get in.
without
not
getting
catching
caught.
my feet. Yes.
We were worried about you.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much.
And check this out. Huh?
I know. It hasn't ever done that since I've lived here, ever.
In
No.
what, some 20 years?
Yep, 19 years.
I'd say we got results at home today.
Yes, you did.
We're in Ocala. I'm Eric Von Ecken getting results. News 6.
20 years of aggravation resolved in an hour.
That's all
I
it
love
takes.
Yeah.
It takes going and doing it. And unfortunately, I have a
Exactly.
similar situation in my house that I have not done.
Well,
So,
now you know how to get results.
Yeah, I guess.
And Justin, if you'd like to watch that again, we've put this repair for you at clickorlando.com. Just look under Getting Results at Home. And if you have a project you'd like Eric to tackle, send us an email at gettingresultsathome@wkmg.com. And next week, Eric might just show up at your door.
Well, of course, we have plenty of different kinds of wildlife here in Central Florida. Every once in a while, we do hear about those run-ins with critters.
This one was a first, though, so take a look. A Lake County man posted on Facebook that he heard some coyotes across the street at 2 a.m. a few days ago, so he thought it'd be a good idea to go outside and, quote, mess with them. But instead of coyotes, he was met by a couple of armadillos. You can see what happens next. The man said he saw the first one, moved out of its way, only for a second one to come out of the bushes and nearly tripped that poor man. That'll learn you. You hear some coyote.
Clever girl.
You're saying
It's
coyotes,
like-
but then you should say
Coyotes,
armadillos.
Armadillos, whatever.
Armadillos and coyotes.
If you hear some wild animals, don't go outside and try and mess with
No,
them.
don't do it. This is a
Yeah.
stupid idea.
You have a
let 'em
perfectly good
be.
house to stay inside.
That's true.
Yeah, you do. Watch
Yeah.
it from the window.
There you go. Thanks for watching News 6 at 6:30. You can stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
We break news on clickorlando.com. See you back here tonight at 11 tonight.